I'm excited to announce our first speaker of the evening, Arizona Board of Regents, Chair Fred DuVal. Chair DuVal has been an advocate and a leader for our state's universities. He's actually the only regent that has ever been approved by governors of both parties. He served our state in 2006 to 2012 after being appointed by Governor Janet Napolitano, and is currently serving an 8-year term after being appointed by Governor Doug Ducey in 2018. He has led the charge of the AZ Healthy Tomorrow initiative, designed to address these critical issues that are facing our state and the workforce shortage. Thank you. We really do appreciate the work you're doing. Please join me.
Scarlett, thank you. How cool is this? The excitement, you can feel it, you can see it. The future is so bright for Arizona. And Scarlett, I want to congratulate you. You are the right person at the right time, building on the fantastic foundation of Dave Kreider. Dave, also our thanks for getting this so successfully launched. So good evening, distinguished guests and faculty, staff, students, and members of the PBC community. It is a great honor for me to kick this off and join my Regental colleagues that are here, Regent Goodyear, Regent Brewster, Regent Mata. It occurs to me we may be having an open meeting violation at this point. But that you are here is certainly evidence of the board's support for what's happening. I have the honor of being chair of the board this year, and as we gather for this first, which I'm sure will be an annual State of the PBC event. It is an exciting time for this knowledge cluster, this transformational moment and entity as we move into these new exciting areas. This is an exemplar of effective collaboration between our three universities, between bioscience and healthcare industry leadership. And I would submit that we have two simultaneous assignments. One is to advance our life science innovation system, and second, as Scarlett said, to advance our healthcare workforce. So we're all in one way or another involved in 21st century economics, and we know that the creation of competitive economics is around getting a piece of the next emerging high-wage economy that drives research, innovation, it drives capital, it drives talent. Life sciences will be the most transformative 21st century economic growth component of the global economy. That Arizona is positioned at this moment to get a piece of it is simply an extraordinary thing. Now, let's be clear, we aren't going to catch up, tomorrow with La Jolla and Austin and some of those who started 30, 40 years ago. But we absolutely are on the cutting edge of identifying what piece of the 21st century biomedical economics we can own over the next decade, 2 decades, and 3 decades, be it pharmaceuticals, be it medical devices, be it digital health and data science, be it brain health. We are on the verge of a new industry that will drive wage growth and economic growth for the state of Arizona. So the time to seize the moment is now. Think of the assets. Charlotte mentioned many of them. TGen, CPATH, and CPATH, Tucson, big deal, doesn't get enough attention. Banner, Mayo, Wexford, Barrow, Valleywise, Honor Health, and many others that aren't being mentioned. We are really hitting this moment of synergy. And then you introduce CAMI, that I'm sure Dr. Dacre is going to talk about. CAMI is going to be a transformative accelerant in this strategy of moving us into the 21st century. I want to particularly thank Flynn. It occurred to me in an earlier conversation with Tammy McLeod. They have now been leading the roadmap for 20 years. They really don't get enough credit for putting us where we are today with those of us that are involved with the operational implementation side. They have brought the vision, and so grateful for that. So our agenda at this point has 2 big components. The first, more accelerated, focused attention, building our assets, and moving beyond collaboration to what I would call strategic synergy. It is sort of the collaboration is evident in the room, but how we get to strategic energy is how we deploy our assets around the focused goals that will drive us into having relevant, impactful growth in the areas where we can be most competitive and where our capacities have the most potential for the future healthcare economy. That's where we will find long-term economic transformation. The second, which I'll develop in a little bit more detail and my colleagues will develop from the 3 universities, is an adequate workforce. The shortage of healthcare workforce is becoming increasingly apparent. I suspect everybody in this room has had the experience I've had. You can't get in to see a doctor. The waiting lines are too long. We are now 47th in the United States in the per capita relationship between citizens and healthcare professionals. We are overdue in creating an accelerant to meet those workforce needs. A jobs report from Georgetown University found that by 2031, there will be a 29% growth in the number of healthcare workers needed in Arizona. It is, by some degree, the largest gap of any field we have in the state of Arizona. So that's why Arizona's public universities and the Board of Regents has set out to address the long-term workforce needs with our Arizona Healthy Tomorrow initiative. It is geared towards both workforce and aligned with leadership in life science research. We plan to grow the University of Arizona's College of Medicine to double its degree production, tasking ASU with building a new medical school that is focused specifically on engineering and medicine. You obviously can read between the lines, a huge strategic asset in driving the economy that we're talking about in this bioscience aspiration. And NAU building a medical school which is specifically focused on our critical needs for general practitioners who will devote their lives and their skills and care to rural Arizona and tribal communities. So the twin goals of biomedical research and improved health outcomes and new workforce for Arizona citizens are the right goals at the right time, led by this right entity. The new Flynn Foundation report, which will come out in February, which will be the roadmap for this entity, will really guide us the way for the steps that we must take to drive forward. I want to thank Governor Hobbs, Mayor Gallego for their commitment to the future that we've been talking about and that's being catalyzed by the PBC. And I'm simply here to say on behalf of my colleagues that are also here, the Board of Regents is eager to assume our responsibility alongside you to lead this moment of transformation for the state that we love. Thank you.